Welcome back to Stoner Watch, where I talk about movies, TV shows, some entertainment news, and other cool stuff. And today we're talking about Transformers, the War for Cybertron trilogy. Released onto Netflix on July 30th of 2020. It's being directed by Takashi Kamei for 6 episodes. Sorry if I butcher your name, dude. And Kazuma Shimizu for 3 episodes, and Koji for 2 episodes. I totally apologize if I butcher your name. I suck with names. And we've got FJ DeSanto coming in for writing credits for 6 episodes. George Krstic for 6 episodes. Gavin Hignight for 4 episodes. And Brandon Easton for 3 episodes. Drew Harper is being credited as the creator of the series. Starring in the show, we've got Philip Bache as Skytread for 2 episodes, Edward Bosco as Ultra Magnus for 4 episodes, and Soundwave for 4 episodes. Brian Robert Burns comes in as Cog for 3 episodes, Brook Chalmers as Impactor for 5 episodes, Alexander DiLallo as Barricade for 3 episodes, Jake Foushee as Optimus Prime for 6 episodes, Rafael Goldstein as Ratchet for 4 episodes, and Soundblaster for 2 episodes, Todd Haberkorn as Red Alert 4 episodes, and Shockwave for 3 episodes, Gray G. Hancock as Spinster for 2 episodes, Danny Hansen as Thundercracker for 2 episodes, Sean Hawkins comes in as Mirage for 5 episodes, Sevilla Isabella as RC for 2 episodes, Kaiser Johnson comes in as Ironhide for 4 episodes, Bed Gerono as Alpha Trion for 1 episode, Miles Luna as Cliffjumper for 1 episode, and Teletran 1 for 1 episode, Ellie Main as Moonracer for 2 episodes, Jason Marinocha as Megatron for 6 episodes, Georgia Reed as Chromia for 6 episodes, Bill Roger comes in as Wheeljack for 6 episodes, Lindsay Russo as Elita 1 for 6 episodes, Kevin Silverstein as Jetfire for 6 episodes, and Omega Supreme for 2 episodes. Then we've got Jimmy Stanford as Hound for 5 episodes. We have Frank Taddeo as Starscream for 6 episodes, Refractor for 1 episode, and Ravage for 1 episode. Aaron Veach comes in as Prowl for 4 episodes, Mark Witten as Sideswipe for 6 episodes, and Skywarp for 2 episodes, and finally, we've got Joe Zia as Bumblebee for 6 episodes. Man, that's one quite cast list. The description reads, Cybertron has been ravaged by civil war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. In an attempt to end the conflict, Megatron considers using the Allspark as the last resort. But Optimus Prime wants to prevent that from happening, even if it means destroying Cybertron in order to save it. Now, I have to admit, I thought it was Peter Cullen doing the voice for Prime, but I did notice a couple moments it didn't sound like him, and while I was listening to the John Campea show, I found out it was not. Apparently, according to a report, producers did it to save money. I don't know if that's true, but let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Now, like I said earlier, the first chapter out of 3 dropped July 30th on Netflix. I binge watched it pretty much the following weekend and gone back and watched it a couple times just to make sure I didn't miss anything. It wasn't pretty hard to do because each episode is roughly about 20 minutes if you minus out the opening and closing credits. So with 6 episodes, we pretty much got a 3-hour movie as far as I'm concerned. Now, without getting the heavy spoilers right off the bat, I want to say I liked it. I thought the story was pretty good. Quite different than compared to the show from the 80s and the movie that we got back in the 80s. But there was a lot of similarities too, like using Gen 1 Transformers, and we had original characters from back then returning in for like 1 or 2 episodes. The Autobot Matrix leadership shows up again. And from the Bay movies, we get the Allspark is still very important to the overall story. Now, I'll have to admit, I'm mainly familiar with the 80s TV show and movie and the Bay movies, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I caught bits and pieces of the evolving versions of Transformers over the years, like, seeing like a commercial on TV, seeing an advertisement for a new comic book storyline or new cartoons that they've been trying to reboot over the years. I didn't get a chance to actually watch that stuff. I mean, it looked cool, but so that's why I was really geeked to watch this new show on Netflix, because I know there's going to be a lot of new and old Transformer lore being mixed in all together. As example, Prime has the matrix of leadership that was in the old 80s movies from back in the day, and Ultra Magnus has something called the Alpha Trion Protocols. Now, I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, he was always second in command, even back in the 80s and what have you, but to see it that but because he had the Alpha Trion Protocols, that made him like the second in command. Like during the show, he said he was like the military commander. Now, I don't know what title that gave Optimus Prime. He was the leader, but they didn't really say like he was like, I'm not really sure exactly how that worked out, but I thought that was kind of interesting that they actually brought that in to the story. Now, the series starts off, we've got Wheeljack and Bumblebee sneaking around on Cybertron, and apparently they're looking looking for Energon. And in the process of looking for Energon, they come across an abandoned space bridge. Now, I thought this was pretty interesting because Bumblebee is not wearing any insignia right now. And like it seemed like that Wheeljack makes a comment that he hired Bumblebee to help look for Energon. I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't really see that coming. Now, I was kind of wondering how many more Transformers that were non-affiliate between the Decepticons and Autobots do we have roaming around on Cybertron? I thought that was pretty weird. But then later on in the movie, we see that Soundblaster, aka Blaster, was wearing a different insignia altogether. It didn't look like the Autobots or the Decepticons, and he seemed like he was on his own, which I thought that was pretty interesting and a good twist. The only thing I was kind of disappointed with, I mean, he looked just like Soundwave, but he was like black instead of like blue or something like that, and they made a comment that he was a clone of Soundwave, and he didn't like that. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping like the old 80s version, maybe with better animation, we'd have got to see, but I don't know, it was still kind of cool. Now, I thought this was an interesting story plot twist. After Megatron makes a speech about having the Autobots surrender and it would help stop the war, but Optimus says, I'm not doing that. He's like, ain't gonna happen. But Ultra Magnus goes behind Optimus Prime's back and he goes to Megatron to actually surrender to help hopefully stop the war. But Megatron's not having it. He's like, he gives him over to Shockwave to torture for the location of the Autobot base. He takes Megatron and his minions to like the thing that was supposed to be Alpha Trion's memorial from like a battle of some sort, from my understanding. And then he turns around and it's like a trick. He wasn't going to actually say, he goes, I'll never betray the Autobots. But then Megatron just shoots him right there, which was kind of cool. It was really weird. After Ultra Magnus dies, his eyes light up green. And the next thing you know, we see all these like weird colored lights flashing all over the place. Megatron and Soundwave and everybody's like, oh, what's going on? Got all computer-like type thing. It was kind of weird to watch, to be quite honest with you. And then it was like, something like left Ultra Magnus's body. We find out later on, it's the Alpha Trion protocols, and it went searching through across Cybertron looking for the worthy recipient, and it comes across Bumblebee, and it just like goes right at him and overloads him, and he kind of passes out. But oddly enough, the Decepticons discover the protocol signal, and Shockwave says, I have a virus that we can put out on that signal, and it'll mess the Autobots' computers and hard drives all up. So I don't know if the protocols are going to be like a factor in the next upcoming 2 chapters or not. I mean, because it made it seem like everywhere the protocol went, including Bumblebee, is now gone. So I don't know what that really means. So I don't know. I did like it. I thought it was pretty cool. Saw parts of Cybertron that I never really thought I would see. I mean, the Sea of Rust, never even heard of that before, to be quite honest with you. But it was a good show. Now we have 2 more chapters that are going to drop. Chapter 2, Earthrise. Now the description reads, the Transformers leave Cybertron in search for the Allspark, leading the Autobots and Decepticons to land over Earth. And then for Chapter 3, Kingdom, the description reads, after a freak time travel accident during their voyage home to Cybertron, the Autobots joined forces with their descendants, the Maximals, against the Decepticons and their descendants, the Predacticons, for the fate of prehistoric Earth and surprisingly large amount of Energon. Now, there's no release dates for those 2 chapters just quite yet. Chapter 2 will probably drop roughly around the same time that Chapter 1 did. Because quite honest with you, I've seen how it worked for like when Daredevil and all them were dropping. It was pretty much roughly around the same time frame as the previous season dropped. So I don't know. Did you check out Transformers: The War for Cybertron? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it? I mean, what'd you think? Did you think it really compared all that well to the 80s version, or did you watch that one? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, I liked it, so I don't know. Let me know what you think. Make sure you click on that subscribe button so you can be notified every time I drop another video. Hey, while you're at it, check out one of my other movie review videos, or check out one of my drum cover videos. Give it a like, give it a share, join in the discussion in the comments down below. Have a good day. Peace.